Hey, this is Yulia and welcome to my channel. Here I talk all things studying abroad, living abroad, traveling the world and much more. Today we're talking about mistakes that students make when moving to Canada. If you are an international student and you're planning to study in Canada, then keep on watching. The first mistake is a huge one, and I honestly made it when I was planning to move to Canada, and it is choosing the wrong program. So I decided that I want to study events, that I want to plan events like concerts and shows, stuff like that. So I decided to take an event management program. Fast forward to 2022, I work as a designer, I work in IT, so I could have just taken an IT program as I was planning. My parents were like, you should take events. Worst case, you move to another country, you can always apply this knowledge to like whatever the next country you're going to. And I was like, yeah, they got the point. So I took event management and realized I still wanted to study IT, I still wanted to do web development, design. So when choosing your program in Canada, States, wherever you're gonna go to study, think carefully. Yes, there are chances that you will not gonna like your future program. Things happen. It's totally normal because, we all make mistakes. But if you have like one or the other one, just try taking some courses online. Maybe you're still debating between business and, I don't know, art or IT. Try taking business courses online, see how you like it. Maybe it's not your cup of tea after all. Try taking art classes, try taking IT courses. This way you can kind of get an idea of which program to pick. The second mistake was also made by me, and it was not being proactive and being shy all the time. If I had a question in class, I'll be like, whatever, I'm just gonna Google that like after class. First of all, Canadian people are very nice. They're not gonna be like, oh, you just like ask a stupid question. No, they're super chill, they're super nice. If you have a question in class, you can always raise your hand and be like, hey, I'm not quite sure what you mean by ABCD. Can you please explain? Can you please elaborate on that one? Worst case, you can always talk to your TAs, to your teachers, to your peers, and ask them to help you with something. And it's not only about school, it's also about people you meet in Canada. So when I moved to Ottawa, I stayed in a homestay and I had a homestay mom, and I asked her questions. I was like, I don't know, like, which bank should I pick, what about that, what about this? So she helped me out. She even picked me up from the airport, took me to the place we were living. For my birthday, she took me out, sang happy birthday. So please don't underestimate people around you. And the third mistake is kind of relevant to the second one, and it is not making connections. That's a huge one because you will need these connections in your future. When you graduate and you'll start looking for a job, these connections might come in handy. Honestly, when you come to Canada, you should use every single opportunity to meet people, to talk to them. You never know who is that lady you were talking to at a supermarket. You never know who is that teacher. Maybe it's a well-known person in the industry planning to work after school. So bear that in mind and be nice to people, network, and small talk. I know Gen Z is gonna be like, I don't like talking to people, I don't like calling, I don't like this, like whatever, human interactions, but you will thank me later. That's how you get referrals to your new job. That's how you make friends. That's how you literally navigate your life in Canada, because networking is the key to success. Mistake number 4 that international students make when coming to Canada, when moving to another country, is having no prior experience of studying or working. That was a mistake I made because I was like, you know what, I'm a student, I'll have time to work, when I'm like 20, whatever. So I didn't work much. I was just like having fun, living with my parents when I was like 18 or whatsoever. But then I moved to Canada and I needed to find a job. And I couldn't because I had zero experience in working in retail or like restaurants or like even making coffee. Back in Russia, I had a job as a media manager in a small company, but this work experience was not even relevant to the positions I was applying for. I applied to work as a sales associate. I applied to work as a barista, as a cashier, as whatsoever, and they were like, "You don't have experience in washing dishes, Miss Yulia." And I was like, "Cool story, bro, but I worked in the office for 3 years." They're like, "Nah, you can't sell a cup of coffee." But also, an empty resume will never do good for you. If that's your case, consider volunteering. I have a whole video about volunteering in Canada, so you have free time after your classes. Go spend an hour or two volunteering. This way you will build your resume, you will have some stuff to put in there, so next time you apply for a job, you'll have at least something to show your potential employer. And mistake number 5 that I've noticed many students make is not applying for jobs before the graduation. Well, Yulia, we're still studying, we still have finals, stuff like that, and you are totally right. But the thing is, to get a job will take you at least a month, because all the stages of the hiring process will take you a lot of time. Because the first stage is an initial screening, second one is a call with like a hiring manager, third one is your team, fifth one is blah blah blah. If we're talking, let's say, about me, about design jobs, IT jobs, of course, if you want to work as an accountant, it's going to be initial call, some kind of hiring manager call, and then either like C position or even like an offer. I'm not quite sure, I'm not an accountant, but if you know, let us know. I think you should start applying for your full-time job a month or even 2 before graduating. This way, by the time you're graduated from college, you will have an offer and you will start working right away, and you're not gonna waste a month or 2. Because when I graduated, I think it was May-ish or so, I was like, I'll start applying like last week of my school. So I was lucky enough and I got a job by July 1st, but still it took me around 2 months to get a job, to go through all the stages of an interview, so keep that in mind. Also, some of my classmates got offers before finishing school. A very important thing. They were locals, so they didn't care about school, so whatever, they could just skip classes. But if you are an international student, you will need to graduate to finish your studies, because if you don't have your paper saying Miss Yulia graduated from this college, you will not get your work permit. So bear that in mind too. Don't get too excited being like, hey, I got the offer, I have some work to do. You need that paper, my friend. And an extra mistake that people make is that people, aka international students, they do not calculate properly the cost of their future studies. Because one thing is that your tuition fees, they increase every single year. And I had a case when someone I know was like, oh, but like when I started my school, the price was, let's say, 15K. In my 4th year, the price is like 16, 17K. And that's a thing you should be calculating beforehand. Same as the cost of living. Like, are you gonna rent an apartment? Are you gonna live in a residence? All these costs should be calculated so you don't end up being in a situation like my friend. Because we all can agree that the worst thing is when you're in your 3rd year, going into your 4th year of school, and you don't have money to pay your tuition fees because you didn't expect that, extra increase of like 1,000 or whatsoever, or there are like some hidden extra costs. I don't know, they were like, buy those books in your year 4, and you like, what do I do now? And this is it for today. I hope the video was helpful. I hope Miss Yulia kinda prevented you from making those mistakes. If you're planning to study in Canada, well, have fun, good luck, and I'll see you soon. Bye!